This is Math 4.7. We're continuing with division of fractions. So our learning target here is to be able to take a couple fractions and divide them. Okay, and if you remember in 4.6, we talked about how you do that by finding the reciprocal, and it's that KCC, keep, change, change. Okay, so let's see what we get. We have 1/4 divided by 3/8. So I can't divide it, I need to multiply it. So I got to do my keep, change, change. I keep the 1/4 and I change that to times. And then I change this to 8/3. Okay? So 1/4 times 8/3. Now, I know I've talked about this before, the cross simplifying. I find it easier to simplify it now than after you have the final. So I look, 1 and 3, those are in the simplest terms. 1 and 4 simplest, 8 and 3 simplest, but this 4 and 8 I can simplify. I'm going to divide this by 4 and divide this by 4. If I do something on the top, I have to do something exactly the same on the bottom. So if the top is coming down, the bottom's coming down by the same amount, or up or down, whatever, but it's the same. So something on the bottom, this is my bottom, 4 divided by 4 equals 1, okay? And then 8 divided by 4 is 2, okay? So now I have 1 over 1 times 2 over 3, and it becomes so much easier. 1 times 2 is 2, 1 times 3 is 3. So my answer is 1/4 divided by 3/8 equals 2/3. And the way I got it is I did my keep, change, change, the reciprocal of that, I crossed, simplified, and then multiplied. Okay? Let's go over here. Let's do this one. Keep, change, change. Keep, change, change. Keep my 5/6, change that, change that. Now before I multiply across, I look, can these be simplified? Or can this be simplified? Or this be simplified? Cross simplification. Okay, so I see this 3 and the 6. 3 goes into both of those. So I'm going to divide each by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. So now that number is now 1. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So that number is now 2. Okay, now I multiply across. 5 times 1 is 5. 2 times 1 is 2. 5 over 2. It's an improper fraction. I'm going to 5 divided by 2. I'm going to make it into a mixed number. How many times does 2 go into 5? 2 times. That's 4, subtract out 1. So it's 2, and my remainder goes up there, and then 2, what I used to divide it by, goes right there. So 5/6 divided by 1/3 equals 2 1/2. All right, let's come down here. Now, whenever I multiply or divide fractions, I like to have fraction by fraction. Okay, same. So all I have to do is go like that. Now I have a fraction. Okay, keep, change, change. Keep this, change that, change that. Okay, and I see that I have this 8 and this 4. Okay, that could be simplified a little bit. Divide that by 4, divide that by 4. This becomes a 2, this becomes a 1. 2 times 1 is 2, 9 times 1 is 9. My answer is 2/9. This cannot be simplified at all because I did the simplification already. So 8/9 divided by 4 equals 2/9. Keep, change, change, simplify, multiply, and you're good. Okay, it's a system. Shouldn't be too bad. Okay, first thing I like to do, of course, is making it to fraction by fraction. Now, keep, change, change. 12, 13. Kept that just exactly how it is. Change this to the opposite, change that to the opposite. Okay? Now I see that 12, 13 can't be simplified, 1, 4 can't be simplified, 1, 13 can't be, but this 12 and this 4, something on the top, something on the bottom, can be simplified. I'm going to divide each by 4. This now becomes 3. This becomes 1. Okay? 3 times 1 is 3. 13 times 1 is 13. 3 over 13. And that is my answer. Okay? So that's dividing fractions. You keep, change, change. You need to do the reciprocal. Simplify. It's always a good idea, I think, to simplify before you do it. It doesn't matter. I mean, you could simplify it afterwards. So, for example, this one, 5 6 times 3, 1. If I didn't do the simplifying before, it would just be 15 over 6. And then I would do 15 divided by 6. Goes in there 2 times. That's 12, 3. Gives me 2 and 3 sixths. Now this 3 6 needs to be simplified. It can be 2 and 1 half. So it's the same answer I got here, but it took me a couple more steps of simplifying. If I just do it right here, then I know I'm good to go. That's what I think. So, but you find your method, what works for you, what feels comfortable with you, and use it.